I had two fathers, a rich one and poor one. One was highly educated and intelligent. He had a PhD and complete 4 years of ungraduated work in less than 2 years. He then went on to Stanford University, the University of Chicago, and Northwestern University to do his advanced studies, all on on all on full financial scholarships. The other father never finished their 8th grade. Both men were success in their careers, working and harder all their lives. Both earned substantial incomes, yet one always struggled financially. The other would become one of the richest men in Howley. One died leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family, charity, and his church. The other left bill to be paid when he died. Both men were strong, charismatic, and influential. Both men offered me advice, but they did not advise the same things. Both men believed strongly in education, but did not recommend the same course of study. If I had a one of day, if I had only one dad, I would have had to accept or reject his advice. Having two dads offered me the choice of concentrating point of view, one of rich man and one of a poor man. Instead of simply accepting or rejecting one or the other, I found myself thinking more, comparing, and then choosing for myself. The problem was that the rich man was not yet rich, and the poor man was not yet poor. Both were just starting out on their career, and both were struggling with money and families. But they had very difficult points of view about money. For example, one dad would say, "The love of money is not the love of money is the root of all evil." The other said, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." As a young boy, having two strong fathers both influencing me was difficult. I want to be a good son and listen, but the two fathers did not say the same things. The contrast in their point of view, partially about money, was so extreme that I grew curious and intrigued. I began to start thinking from long period of time about what each was saying. Much of private time was spending in reflecting, asking myself questions such as why does he say that? And then asking the same question of the other dad's statement. It would have been much easier to simply say, "Yeah, he's right. I agree with that." Or to simply reject the point of view by saying, "The other man doesn't know what he is talking about." Instead, having two dads whom I loved forced me to thinking and ultimately choose a way of thinking for myself. As a process, choosing for myself turned around to be much more valuable in the long run than simply accepting or rejecting a simple point of view. One of the reasons the rich get richer and the poor get poorer and the middle class stronger in debt is that the subject of money is taught at home. not in school. Most of them learn about money from our parents. So what can poor parents tell their child about money? So what can poor parents tell their child about money? Simply they simply says stay in school and study hard. The children may graduate with excellent grade, but with a poor person's financial programming and mindset, sadly, money is not taught in schools. School focus on slockity and professional skills, but not a financial skill. This explains why smarter bankers, doctors, and accountants who earn excellent grades may struggle financially all of their lives. Our struggling national debt is due in large part of highly educated politicians and government officials making financial decisions with little or no training in the subject of money. Today, I often wonder what will happen when we have millions of people who need financial and medical assistance. They will be dependent upon their families or the government of financial support. What will happen when Medicare and Social Security run out of money? How will a nation survive if teaching children about money continues to be left to parents, most of whom will be or already are poor? Because I had two influencing father, I learned from both of them. I had to think about each dad's advice I do so and I doing. So I gained valuable insight into the power and effect of one's thought, no one's life. For example, one dad had a habit of saying, I can't afford it. The other dad forbade those words to be used. He instead I asked, how can I afford it? One is statement and the other is a question. One lets you off the hook and the other force you to think. My soon to be rich dad would explain that by automatically saying the words I can't afford it, you I can't afford it. Your brain stopped working by asking the question, how can I afford it? Your brain is put to work. He did not mean that you should buy everything you want. He would functional about exercising your mind. The most powerful computer in the world, he'd say, my brain gets stronger every day because I exercise it. The stronger it gets, the more money I can make. I believed that automatically saying I can't afford it was a sign of mental laziness. Although both did worked hard, I noticed that one dad had a habit of putting his brain to sleep when it came to finances, and the other had a habit of exercising his brain. The long-term result was that one dad grew stronger financially and the other grew weaker. It is not much different from personal who goes to gym exercise on a regular basis versus someone who sits on the couch watching television. Proper physical exercise increase your chance for health, and proper mental exercise increase your chance for wealth.